I believe it's 4 years now that I have this Bunn VP17 commercial style coffee maker. I get a lot of views from my reviews, and it makes great coffee. So here is my 4-year ultimate review of the Bunn VP17 pour over coffee machine. Okay, so as the video progresses, I'm going to put links in the video for shopping if you want to purchase this type of machine or a machine like it. They come in different burners, and also the filters, the little screw tip. I'm going to get into that, the carafe, everything you need to get set up. And it's not really difficult. You don't need a plumber. These are pour over. They do make them. There's an option that you can have it hardwired plumber, so you don't have to pour the water in. You can just turn it on like the restaurants do. The water's always there. I don't need that. I do pour it in, and you don't need a special outlet. It does draw a little more current, but not more than most houses can handle. It's not like it's going to blow fuses in your home unless you have a whole bunch of high draw, high amperage items on the same circuit. So it is consumer friendly and makes great coffee. Again, I have a number of shorts, and I may have done a regular full-length video on this machine. And for lack of a better term, the number one complaint I get from people who have purchased the machine is that their coffee tastes weak after making a pot. And there's a number of reasons why that is, but the number one reason, and this, I'm very critical of Bunn. I've never really written them. I don't on why they've done this. I don't know if it was a mistake in the machinery, engineering, like the Hubble Space Telescope, a simple thing, cost them tons of money. But this here is the stainless steel funnel. It comes with a plastic one. Toss it. Get the stainless steel one. It's well worth it. You don't get that plasticky taste. You don't have to worry about plastic. Stainless steel. You know, you're going to spend the money on this machine. You may as well get your full money out of it. So, this is your stainless steel Bunn basket. Does not come with the unit. You have to purchase it extra. Comes with the plastic one, but again, I nixed that. I use this. But the number one complaint I have is that people are saying, hey, you know, when I make coffee, it's very weak. And the problem is that Bunn made the hole on the bottom of the funnel here too big. I'm like, are you kidding me? I mean, that's like basic engineering. So what they came up with was this screw tip that you have to purchase separately for, it's like $11. There's a little screw tip that drops down, that screws in and drops down the diameter of the hole, which makes the water brew slower, makes the coffee brew slower, giving you stronger coffee. So the water stays in the brew basket longer because it takes longer to drain out of here. So I really don't understand. And you know what? I'm tempted to really write them and say, hey, what's up with that? I mean, these are expensive, good machines. Are you going to tell me you couldn't just make it this way? Or maybe they're going to say, oh, well, some people like weaker coffee, which I don't understand. I'm sure there's got to be a reason for it. But anyway, this screw tip I'll have in the description as well, and I recommend getting it. I know they're expensive machines, but as ridiculous as it is, get the screw tip and you will get you'll get the correct, quote, flavor of the coffee. And a coffee strength is really relative to the person. Some people like it stronger, some people like it weaker. So that's why I don't understand why they did this. Well, I don't understand what's up with this. Why they had to actually make a screw tip accessory for something. It's like the eyeglasses. It's like the lenses on the Hubble. That's why, if you're into astronomy like I am, the Hubble Space Telescope years ago, when they didn't grind the lenses correctly, so they had to basically put eyeglasses on to correct it because it was off like some millionth of an inch or something, so it was blurry. So, but anyway, that's one of the fairly regular comments I get from people who have purchased the machine. Okay, another accessory. Yeah, this is a Bunn. Just a carafe, and it has little markings on it, but I marked it just for the full 12, 10, 8, 6. Here's your carafe on where you put your water through your carafe, and of course the basket. And again, here's some filters. I'm going to get into that shortly. Here is the stock plastic basket that they give you, and you can see I don't use it. I keep it to hold my filters, and I have cases of filters. I get those on Amazon also. I'll put the link in the description. I'm going to get into the filters also. Number two, what I found, these coffee machines, I mean, if you're going to purchase a machine like this, I'm figuring you're a coffee lover like I am, and you may have a fairly big family, and small little coffee cups like they used back in the day are pretty much gone with with the new generation of coffee drinkers. So the cups today are huge. So 12 cups, technically, two or three big cups of coffee or thermos fills, or those to-go thermoses are pretty much, you're gone. So what I found with this machine is it's not great to make just like 6 cups. So I've always found that it doesn't come out, even with the screw tip, it doesn't come out very flavorful. I found the ideal with this machine is at least 8 to 12 cups. A full carafe, 12 cups of water is ultimate. That's the next thing. So avoid making 6 cups or 4 cups of coffee with this machine, because it's not gonna give you the ideal coffee flavor that you want. So you might be saying, well, Jim, why should I spend the money then? Well, that's up to you. Now, they do make a smaller version of the Bunn of this. If you don't want to spend the money on this, they do make a smaller Bunn professional consumer. I'm going to put that link in here also. It's this one here, the Homebrew. You can get them at hardware stores, online, Amazon. They come in white, black. I've had plenty of those, but they don't last. Honestly, I make a lot of coffee, and maybe I get 5 years out of them. So this thing, again, is well worth the money. But again, if you don't want to spend that kind of money, or if you don't have the room, it does take up some space. Try the Bunn Homebrew, and you won't be disappointed. Also, the Homebrew only has a 10-cup carafe. It holds, it'll brew only 10 cups at a time. So, again, the ideal is a full carafe of 12 cups. I generally make 8 to 10. And every once in a while, if I know me and my wife, going to have a couple of cups I'll make the full 12. And again, my big cups, I'm going to show you that. It's easy to burn through this carafe. Hey, another must is use filtered water. If you have a filter, most people have a filter in their refrigerators, or if you have a water cooler. I do, but I use this here. Occasionally, I'll steal some water from my cooler, but use filtered water. We have very good water here in New Jersey on the shore, but I still don't use it. I use filtered water. So use your filtered or spring water if you can for the best taste. Okay, filters. You could buy filters at dollar store and really cheap filters, but you're going to have a problem if you try to use non-Bunn filters in this machine. Bunn, I buy the Bunn filters. They're cheap. I get a box of 1,000. I get them through Amazon. I'll have a link in the description also. You don't need to buy 1,000. You can buy them different depending on how much coffee you drink. But the original Bunn filters are tall because you're putting a lot of water in the basket. So you want to make sure that you use Bunn tall coffee filters. Okay, so I keep the case in the closet and I take out a few hundred. You'd be surprised how fast I go through these. I was like, wow, man, I'm really drinking a lot of coffee here. But here you go. They're taller. They fit in here. And as you can see, if you buy like the cheapo ones from a regular coffee, Mr. Coffee, say, they'll only come down to here. And then the water will, the coffee will overflow and get under here. And then you'll get coffee grounds and other disgusting stuff in your coffee, and it'll foul up the machine and all that. So make sure you use your Bunn coffee, tall Bunn original coffee filters. Okay, coffee. Everybody has their favorites, so I'm going to just tell you mine, and that's really up to you what kind of taste you love. If you're a Starbucks drinker, you generally, I guess, like strong coffee. I don't particularly like it. Dunkin' Donuts, what have you. I try a lot of different coffees over the years, and I've narrowed them down. This is my absolute favorite. 8 o'clock bean, whole bean. Get yourself a bean grinder. It really makes a difference. I mean, these are Mr. Coffee. They're very cheap. It will be in the shopping link in the beginning also. Very inexpensive. 1 tablespoon. Same thing as if you have the ground coffee. If you don't have the time, whatever, and I do have both. I have bean and pre-ground for times I don't have enough time. But there's nothing like freshly ground coffee, and the smell is the best. I grind it. I generally grind it for about 10 seconds. Kind of shake it. I grind it a little on the fine side, which also makes the water run through the machine slower, and I find that it gives your coffee a really rich taste, extra rich. I love Colombian. That's my flavor. This is my favorite. My second would be the Gavalia Colombian, and number 3, and you're gonna laugh, but it's good stuff, McDonald's Colombian coffee. So they sell it in the stores or on Amazon. I'll try to put it on a link in the shopping thing. I think there may be some available. But McDonald's Colombian coffee. I love Colombian coffee. I'm sure other brands, other types of coffee are good. I just haven't, I'm not one that's going to go try a whole bunch of different, but I do occasionally, if I see something. I used to like Starbucks Bright Sky, but they don't make it. I don't see it anymore. So I used to like that. But I basically buy these big bags because I do drink a lot of coffee. Buy the big bags on Amazon. These are 2-pound, 38-ounce whole bean. And, they'll last maybe a month and a half. I'll buy 2 of them. And then I also get I like the Gavalia is my second flavor. And also I do that because I kind of like the difference in taste. They both are very tasty, but I can tell the difference. So I enjoy the Gavalia. I'll change it up a little bit. Hey, that's what happens when you retire, I guess. But no. Anyway, getting back to the 12 cups. The old days, we used to drink coffee in these little coffee cups. These are Buffalo China. I got this one from an old hotel on the water that was being torn down about 30 years ago. It was from the 1800s. It was I believe it was the Warren Hotel in Spring Lake, and they were tearing it down because it was unsafe. So they just auctioned everything off. Down to the doorknobs and the doors. People bought everything. The line to go into the hotel to get to purchase stuff was unbelievable. I waited for hours. And by the time I actually went in there, I ended up buying just a coffee service and some trays and stuff, but I got a number of these little coffee cups. But these are so tiny, you can get away with making a 10 cup or 8 cups. But today, we got these big giant mugs. I got my Jim's Holiest coffee mug. These I use a lot. I got these at a historic village. They hand make these. These are really nice little seashore. And of course I have my Mega Black Rifle coffee cup. I'll use that occasionally. That holds a lot of coffee. So it depends. So but with a cup like this, 2 cups, 12 cup coffee, that's about eight cups right there. Quote cups. So that's another reason why I make 10 cups. Because again, I'll drink 2 of these, and that's about 2 of these for myself, and my wife will drink 1, and that's pretty much. I have a little left over for a cup this size. So that's the difference between today and decades ago, especially with sodas and so forth. Not to get off the beaten track, but it's the same thing. The portion size have gone up, and a little cup like this, I can drink that in 1 second. This is something, again, you get at a diner or what have you. Again, this is a service, an old Victorian hotel on the ocean. Whole bean coffee. And we love our coffee because... Do you drink tea? Okay, another thing I do before I make my coffee, I get up, I'll come over and I'll turn the heater on. I always keep hot water. I always keep water in the carafe. And I do that because in the morning I know I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to let this sit for at least a half an hour or whatever. You don't have to do this. You can preheat the water in your sink and use hot water. But I'll generally turn this on knowing that I'm not going to be making coffee for another half an hour. Again, this is my routine. Your routine is going to be different. But my point is, I always start off with a ripping hot carafe. That way when it comes time to make my coffee, it runs through and it's not going into an ice cold carafe. It's going into a nice hot carafe. The coffee's hot. It's nice and fresh. So that's just another little detail that I've done. So preheat your carafe either with the hot water from your sink before you make coffee. I do buy these. If I'm going to head out, I'll pour myself a whatever's left here. I'll pour a to-go cup if I'm heading out somewhere, whatever. So you can do that. But I try to use my coffee. I don't let it sit all day. They say fresh coffee should be like coffee when you make a pot of coffee. You should dump it after 20 minutes or so. I'm not going to do that. I'm not a multi-millionaire. But I usually use it. It may sit a couple of hours, and I'll drink it through. I'll drink it through the morning. So, and it tastes fine. But I do notice once it gets down to the bottom, starts getting low, it gets bitter, it gets overheated, it gets burned, and you can really taste. I can smell it. I know it's time to dump it. And I rarely will make a second pot, but most of the time I use about 80% or 90% of what I made between myself and my wife. Okay, so again, if I make a whole pot and I drink a cup, my wife maybe already left, and I have a lot of coffee left over, I'm not going to dump it down. It's expensive. If I know I'm going to maybe drink some later on in the day, I purchase these 2. Now these I also use if I have dinner with people over or whatever, and I want to make some coffee. I put it on a table. It looks nice. These are okay, but they don't last. These are something you'd see in the hospital or a nursing home, say, or even a hotel maybe. But they're okay. They're good for making coffee, transporting them to a room or to a bedroom or something. Somebody wants their coffee, and there it is. But they don't keep coffee piping hot for hours. Within an hour or so. Again, same thing with this. If I know I'm going to use this, I'm going to preheat it. I'm going to put hot water in there, let it sit, get hot, and then pour the coffee in and seal it up. But again, they're not effective for like hours on end. This here I purchased. This is a Bunn carafe that's insulated. However, I am extremely disappointed in it. It's well insulated. You do not keep this on the burner. It is not meant to sit on a burner. It looks like it, but it's not meant to sit on the burner. It can actually do damage to it. But it's a big disappointment. And I forget what I paid for it. But it's a big, big disappointment. I'll put hot coffee in there. I'll preheat it. Put hot coffee in there. And in an hour or two, when you would think you come back and it's ripping hot, it's not. It's better than this one, but not as much. I expected this to be a lot more effective. I would expect that at least 6 hours, that it would be hot. Within 6 hours, it's tepid at best. So big disappointment. I think this is a Bunn, but it's a big disappointment. But I don't want to throw it away. I think I paid $60 for it. So just some accessories to keep in mind, and just a caveat on this here. I don't know if other brands are better. It sure feels and seems like it's effective. I keep it closed correctly. It has a good seal, and it feels well made, and it feels well insulated, but it really, again, I'm very, very disappointed at the performance of this thing. Not that my whole life revolves around this, but you get the idea. As far as a product goes, they're good for temporary. If you have a dinner, you have a lot of people drinking coffee, or after dinner, dessert, you have a lot of people drinking coffee. This is fine. For 20 minutes, half hour tops, people will get hot coffee. But again, for putting coffee in that and expecting it to be hot 6 hours later,
a few moments later.
Cleaning. Almost forgot this. Cleaning the machine. Of course, you want to make sure you keep as clean as you can outside. Dust, dirt, fingerprints, all that around here. It needs a good cleaning. Here, some little calcium. I don't have a lot of calcium in my water, and that's a good way to know if you have a lot of calcium in your water. If you're going to use tap water, which again I don't recommend, is if you'll get some buildup here. Cleaning this machine. Okay, very important. Cleaning the machine. It's really, really easy. You need regular distilled white vinegar. Don't just get the 5%, the standard stuff you get at a restaurant, dollar store, supermarket, the regular distilled white vinegar. Make sure you use white vinegar. I take a liquid cup measure, and I'll add it to 10 cups of water, 10 or 11 cups of water. And I will add this. I have my, I did not put the screw head back on. I cleaned that manually. You could put it back on if you want, but I'm going to show you why. So 1 cup of vinegar to the 12 or 10 cups of water. And you feed it directly into the machine. And this is going to clean and deodorize, clean and sanitize your Bunn coffee machine. You let that run through completely. You can smell it. It's pretty strong. Now, vinegar, you're going to clean this here. This is all extra that you can clean. But you can see it ate away at that, a lot of that calcium deposits there. White vinegar it's 5% acid. It's high in acid, so it's going to clean any buildup that's inside the storage. Inside here is the stainless steel hot water container, and any bacteria, anything that's just any kind of bacteria, any kind of dirt that or float, anything that's not supposed to be in there it's going to clean out, and it's going to run through here. So let the vinegar and water solution drain through, do its job, and you're going to let it sit in the container because the vinegar is now in the water container. Whatever you pour in here displaces the same equivalent from the tank. So the vinegar is still in here. It is draining out here somewhat, just about 10 cups, but there's still vinegar water in here, and I'm going to let that sit for about a half an hour. Make sure it cleans really well and disinfects inside of the machine. Okay, I have one of these brushes here. We're going to clean it. Now, you're wondering, why didn't I do this before? Because I'm going to be running water through this like a banshee later, and I wanted the vinegar and hot water to loosen up anything extra. So you got this here, and it's not that bad because I do keep it clean. And at the end, I'm going to clean all that around there. Again, that's just superficial. But yeah, use this. Comes with these, or you can just buy them anywhere. And clean in there. And again, you wait. I get about 15-20 minutes or so. And then I'll show you the next step. Okay, there you are. It's clean. There's a little bit of build up on the edges here. I mean, I only go so much. But it's clean. And as far as the tip that's coming out, I just clean with that. After we wait the 15-20 minutes, let the vinegar do its job, then we obviously don't want to make coffee because it's going to taste like vinegar. So what we're going to do is pour in, I usually pour in about 10 containers, one after the other, of filtered cold water, and just keep running it and running it and running through to make sure all of the vinegar is out. Okay, so again, under here, I don't have the spray head in. Actually, I have the spray head just soaking in some vinegar for a few minutes. It doesn't really have that much scale on it. Again, the technical name for what we're doing cleaning is descaling. So if you look up, how do you descale a Bunn coffee machine, you can look that up on the internet and tells you exactly how to descale it, which is, it depends on your water. Again, I use spring water, so I don't have any calcium buildup, or very, very, very little. If you use your water from your sink, you're going to get calcium buildup. You're going to have scale, more or less, depending on where you are. But anyway, I didn't put the screw head in yet. Took some cold water from my tap, and we're just going to run it through. It's been 15 minutes since I poured the vinegar water solution in there. Now we're gonna purge it from the system here, and by doing this, now I'm gonna be cleaning out that little orifice that I cleaned with the brush, so to make sure there's no chunky stuff remaining. And I am going to run about, this is where it gets time consuming, I'm gonna run about 10 full containers of cold water through this machine, and then I'm going to run another 3 or 4. That's me personally. I'm going to run another 3 or 4 of the filtered water from my refrigerator, because I want that filtered water in the tank. That's the water you're going to be drinking when I make my coffee. So about 10 or so, until the smell of vinegar subsides. I mean, you could try 5 if you don't have time. Try it. Really depends on you. I found that 10 gets it completely cleaned, gets all of the vinegar out. Even though it's fairly weak solution, it's only 1 cup to 12 cups of water. Okay, so let's see. Whew! Yep, there's definitely vinegar there. Okay, so I ran 2 full containers through, and I put the screw in tip. This is screws in, has threads, screws in very easily. I let that soak again in vinegar, and now it's back in, and I'm going to run another 5 to 6 more containers of water through until the vinegar smell is gone. Oh, just real quick, after you poured like 2 or 3 containers through, rinse this out so any smell of vinegar is out of there, so you have a better idea how clean it is. We're running that through. Whoops, big mistake right there, folks. Make sure you put when you have that running, make sure you put the basket on, because the spray head, as you can see, makes a mess. We'll clean that up real fast. Oh, just a small tip. When you're not using it in the machine during the day, don't leave this open. Evaporation, dirt, dust, whatever gets in there. It's got a lid for a reason. Use it. Don't leave it open. Just a little tip. It's the small stuff that counts. All right, we're almost done here. I'm on my 8th container of filtered water. And as of right now, it smells really good. I'm not going to make coffee today, but I'm fairly confident that the machine is clean and descaled, deodorized, disinfected, what have you. But it's good to do that. Remember, good cleaning on the inside and the outside. The spray head on there. If you make a lot of coffee, it's good to do that weekly or every few days. If you get a lot of coffee buildup, the oils and so forth from the coffee will affect maybe the flavor, the taste of your coffee. But you would have to really let it sit for 6-8 months for that to happen. But I do keep it regularly. I do clean it regularly under there with a sponge. And as you can see, it doesn't take long for it to build up. Okay, everybody, so I hope you enjoyed this ultimate review for the Bunn VP17 coffee machine and related items. And grab one up. If you really enjoy your coffee, you like making it, you like having enough of it, and you don't want to wait around for 20 minutes for the Mr. Coffee to brew, get one if you have the room. You'll enjoy your coffee. It's definitely an investment worth having. It is not a disappointment. It's a great machine. Aside from the screw tip. Still not over that. Have a happy new year, 2026. Thanks for watching Jim's Holiest of Coleus. And stay tuned. End of January, we'll be starting our Coleus crop. End of January, first week of February. I'm shooting for the end of January this year. Stay tuned, everybody. Thanks for watching.